Meteorologist Matthew East here with you in the Weather on the Ones Forecast Center. This is the February 10th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. A lot to talk about here. First of all, there's the radar this morning from 5:19 a.m. and this is another huge snowstorm that's going to affect a lot of places. And this is going to be a big snowstorm for places like Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, up into New York, and eventually even Boston getting in the snow. And a lot of New England is going to pick up a lot of that snow. The watch and warning situation this morning, the county's in red there, and anywhere from the Delmarva Peninsula on up through New Jersey and Long Island. Those are blizzard warnings. Lots of winter storm warnings as well. Now, for our area, we're finished with the precip from this system. Outside of the mountains. The mountains will continue picking up snow today, the winter storm warning for our mountain friends as well. But the big story for the Piedmont, even the coast part of the Carolinas today, down into Georgia and Alabama, is wind. It's going to be a windy day. And for the Piedmont of North Carolina, we're going to be looking at winds gusting over 50 miles per hour at times. And this is a look at the GFS 10-meter wind product here for 1 o'clock this afternoon. And just these west-northwesterly winds will really be cranking. And there'll be some 60-plus mile per hour gusts in the mountains. Those winds are going to be enough to down some trees and power poles, I'm afraid, today. And travel could be tricky at times due to the winds. And that is going to be not only for the high-profile vehicles, maybe even the smaller cars due to the nature of the winds today. It's going to be a windy day. This is not your run-of-the-mill windy type of day. This is a pretty big deal today in terms of the winds. Temperatures cooling off. Temperatures really dropping this morning. A lot of folks have dipped down into the 20s this morning. And it'll only be toward the upper side of the 30s, maybe mid-30s in the northwest Piedmont today. Wind chill values in the 20s at best today. So cold air advection taking place. Just the difference in pressure between this area of low pressure that's really bombing out off the New England coast and this area of high pressure in the plains. That's really funneling in here the west-northwesterly flow. And it's going to be just a windy type of day today. Tomorrow, this is, again, the 6C GFS, what we're looking at here. Tomorrow is going to be a quiet day across our region. We're talking a good bit of sunshine, low to mid-40s for highs. But then we go on out to the next system. And again, I'm going to show you the GFS first. I think the GFS is still too suppressed with this, but I'll show you the GFS first. This is 1 o'clock Friday. And you have the low pressure center down to the central Gulf of Mexico, taken verbatim. This is some light snow pushing through parts of Mississippi and Alabama, northern Louisiana, into parts of Georgia. And then the GFS moves that into the northern Bahamas, the low pressure. The light snow pushes into South Carolina and southeastern sections of North Carolina. Light being the very, very key word on the GFS. And then that system pushes out to sea. Now, I think the GFS is too far south. At this point yesterday on the modeling, it had the low down in Cuba. So it has adjusted northward a good bit, but I don't think it's really adjusted northward enough. Now, the Canadian is the farthest north and west of the modeling, and it takes the low here from 7 p.m. Saturday in a position near the Big Bend region of Florida to a couple hundred miles off the Carolina coast on Saturday morning. And I notice its precipitation fields much farther north than the GFS, and I think the solution probably much closer to the Canadian than the GFS. The European is a pretty good compromise, I feel, this morning. And I still haven't really changed my thinking on this. This looks like a pretty decent little I-20 snow event here. Places like Jackson, Birmingham, Atlanta, and Columbia probably getting a decent snow event out of this. And it gets a little trickier farther north from there. I'm getting the idea that Charlotte could at least be in the zone to see some light snow out of this by Friday night. How far north into North Carolina the snow would try to push is still a question mark, but Charlotte probably sees at least a little bit of light snow from this Friday night. But I still think the best snows with this event, probably right along that I-20 corridor, could be a nice 2 to 4 inch type snow event for those folks. Depending on how the moisture fields work out with this system. All right, then we go out to the next system. Strong Clipper dives in. This is 1 p.m. Monday, and I've gone ahead and included a few snowflakes in the forecast, even though you don't typically get a lot of precip around the Piedmont from Clippers moving in from the northwest, but this one's really strong, and it could bring out a few snowflakes Sunday night and Monday morning especially. as that system moves on through. And I just don't see any end in sight to the cold pattern. This is all the way out to the 20th on the GFS. Nice trough in the central and eastern part of the country. 25th, same deal. A lot of cold air around. So it looks like the cold air is going to be with us, and we'll just have to see if we can get any storm systems to combine with the cold air and give the snow fans that are still wanting some snow another chance. I think we have not seen our last winter weather chance of the winter. Still a lot of winter left to go, and we'll see how this system Friday night pans out as well. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks for watching. Have a great Wednesday. Batten down the hatches today, and God bless.